Hello and welcome to the One About Podcast show where two friends get together and talk about a different topic each week. This week, I love that look in your eye. We're watching the sequel to one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever made. That's a movie. This is the one about Predator 2. I'm your host, Tito. Let's go by in the school of places around the internet. And I'm joined this week, as always, by my main man, John. John, how are you doing this week?
I'm pretty distraught. This
Why?
Mac is kicking my ass straight up. Makes me really sad, and it's all due to my own hubris. But other than that, doing pretty good actually. Yeah,
Are
watching
you?
some animals. Yeah.
How's the PS5 situation?
Why would you tell that? Fuck. All right, so we're going down this hole.
Yeah, I think it's relevant.
It's,
I think it's
definitely relevant. So, as I told you after it happened, this happened Saturday when I found out that my PS5 would not turn on, even though Friday night before I went to see Shang-Chi, Isaac was playing it, Rocket League, turned off, no problems. So it didn't turn on. I tried it every outlet, different outlets, different cords, all different combinations, tested everything, just doesn't work. Just doesn't turn on.
Mm-hmm.
So I find out, okay, I just go to PlayStation support. Gives you this little questionnaire. It's like, oh, try this, does it work? Try this, does it work? Try this, does it work? Nope, 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 nope. Get to the end. Oh, some of our technicians will be able to help you. So call PlayStation.
Okay.
It's only open Monday through Friday. Cool, great. It's a Saturday, so I have to wait till Monday. Oh, wait, Monday's Labor Day. So I got to wait till Tuesday. That's fine. So Tuesday rolls around after I've cried in my pillow every night since. And at 9 o'clock on the dot during my work day and, getting the kids together and all of that, I call PlayStation support.
Okay.
Go through the prompts, get to the PlayStation 5 help, technological, and then it rings and it's like, sorry, all of our technicians are helping someone right now. We can't take your call. Bye. It literally doesn't put you in a call queue like you would think that would happen, even if you're like trafficking a lot of calls. If there's too many people in the queue, it literally says fuck off, call later.
Wow.
So I keep calling it. Finally get in the queue.
Okay.
Our operators are helping a lot of different people right now. We'll get to your call in no less than 60 minutes. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's a great wait time. Whatever. So I'm on hold in one ear, in meetings in the other, and trying to handle my tornado of a child during the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for a whole hour. Hold music stops. It's dead. Hello? Hello? Call still connected. Can't hear anybody. Hello? 15 minutes pass by. I'm literally talking to no one. I'm saying, if you can hear me, this is my number. Call me back, please. I've been on hold for an hour and 9 minutes. I get a call from Scam Likely. I think it's them. Answer it. Nope. Not them. Go back to the call that I put on hold. They hung up on me. Cool. Great. I'm just going to call 3 more times. Can't get in the queue. Call in a 4th time. Finally get in the queue. You will be answered in no less than 60 minutes. 2 hours and 9 minutes later, I finally get Ben on the phone. So me and Ben have a nice little chat. And then he's like, okay, yeah, all right. So you tried everything. I literally went down the slew of everything. I tried different outlets, tried different power cords. I also tested the power cords and the outlets on my PS2 and PS4 to make sure that they worked. They did. It did not work for my PS5. Nothing worked. He's like, okay, so I'm going to give you this guide because you told me your game's stuck in the PS5. Got my disc out of there. It's like, all right, looks like it's not working, so you're going to have to send it in for fix, repair / replacement. Cool. 3 to 5 business days, you'll get a package. All right? You'll send the package back, and in 20 to 30 business days, we'll get it back to you.
20 to 30 business days?
Which equates to at least a month and a half. And I'm just like, this is awesome. I'm going to go cry now. And literally, that call took probably 10 minutes. And all of that could have been handled if they just made an online portal to where I could just be like, look, none of the stuff that you're suggesting worked. None of the stuff your technician would suggest worked. Can you just set it up to where I can give you my information and you send me a package and I send it in? No, I have to wait in line with all the other people that you set up this screwy support system for and just talk for 10 minutes to do the same thing you could have done with an online portal. So yeah, that's my PlayStation 5 story. So it's basically a huge paperweight on my entertainment center.
Have you opened it?
What do you mean?
Well, like the outer shells are the wings or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
are
how I got
totally-
the disc out. Yeah, I've opened it.
Oh, okay.
But the only reason that I can think that it would not turn on is that the power supply died, which doesn't make any real
Weird.
sense. Like,
Yeah.
there's a multitude of things that that can happen to a game system after continuous use. The power supply dying should be the very last of them.
Yeah, I mean, clearly I was gonna say unless something's faulty, but clearly something's faulty.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's weird. Yeah, that's
Yep.
not to mention very unfortunate.
Oh, especially since it was the day of when I could have downloaded the Predators game from PlayStation Plus.
I mean, on the plus side, there's nothing to play on PlayStation 5 right now.
I mean, yeah, I only
So-
use it to play Rocket League, but still, that means if I want to play Rocket League, it can't be at night because my wife and my child are trying to sleep. And it can't be during when the baby sleeps unless I'm like super duper quiet. But if I like make the wrong move in that chair, it's just loud enough to wake her up. So the only times I can play it is when my wife is at home and is able to watch the kids, which is very far and in between.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But interesting side note, I did a twos tournament with Isaac, and since I'm platinum 2, we were in a platinum tournament, and we got to finals. We got to second place. It's really cool. I mean, granted, there was a couple, 1-on-2 matches that happened, but we did really well. I basically had to play goalie because he was going to attack, which I knew he was going to do. But he's better at striking than I am, so that's nothing new about that. But I knew that the pressure got to him in the finals match because we won the first one because it was 1v2 versus the guy until his partner came back halfway through the match. They decimated us the second one. I think the score was like 7-3. And then the third one was evenly matched until like Isaac started like freaking out and ball chasing and trying to like save stuff that he couldn't save. And like I couldn't just go in the room because I'm in our room and then across the hall is where Isaac is, and I can't just go in the room. I was like, dude, calm down. It's okay. We got this. It's just gotta hope that he puts it together. But it's fine. Like it was his first platinum tournament. He just got platinum by himself. Like I'm super proud of him. Like he's really showing me that he can focus and like reach a higher level, but it's only because like it's a game that he loves. I hope he gets that feeling and that drive for basketball, because I would go to town on that shit straight up. Like, dude, do you know how much I've been itching to just go to like 24-hour fitness or like ballparks and just playing pickup games and be able to do that with like Isaac or Isaiah? Dude, I would start crying a little bit. That would bring back memories of like when I played with my dad, where he basically talked trash the whole game.
I bet he did too.
Oh my god.
Like one of those fathers, get this shit out of here.
It's like a
Try
3-year-old.
harder, son.
Oh my god. That's
Just
the reason,
bodying you up.
dude, that's the reason why I'm like 6'2", but I still play center. Like I've been playing against dudes that have been bigger than me since I was like 8.
Just imagine you like 3 years old. And he's just fucking bodying you out of the paint.
Oh, dude, 100%. He's been talking about taking Alexandria. It's like, oh yeah, let me take her to the court. Oh, let me put her in some volleyball. I was like, stay away from that child. You are a grandfather in just a capacity role of just watching the child and loving on her. Like, no plans of world domination just yet. Okay?
Just yet.
Just yet.
Well, I gotta say, I have had nothing so interesting as all of that going on.
Oh, you mean by the total catastrophic failure of my game systems and everything I hold dear? Yeah.
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 I mean, the whole house has been sick. I'm still a little nasally.
What? So Benji, Connie, everybody got sick?
Yeah.
Was it just like the sniffles? What happened?
Yeah, just like a cold or whatever.
Oh, so is it cold in Florida now, or is it just like really like moggy?
I mean, it's pretty normal. We think that he picked something up at daycare and then brought it home.
That's usually the case.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Like, we work from home and he can stay home whenever. It's not a big deal. I mean, we
Yeah.
obviously want him to be in school, but like,
Yeah,
it's whatever.
I got you.
But I was able to take that time and play through Doom Eternal finally.
I heard that. First of all, how is the game?
The thing about Doom Eternal is that, like, for me, the core systems of Doom Eternal are the same as Doom 2016.
Okay, never played that either. Keep going.
Sure. And so, like, it's a matter of comparing it to that and then like what they added. And what they added is like there's this hub world where you can get some collectibles. You can look at like the trinkets and shit that you can pick up along the way through the game. You can listen to the songs that you can find as secrets and shit like that.
Okay.
And then there's some like new weapons and gadgets and shit like that.
Okay.
Um for me personally, all those new things that they added make the game worse than the 2016 version.
Really? Because is it too like cluttered? Is it just too?
It's just too much. Like,
Okay.
so Doom 2016 is like you're the Doom Slayer and you shoot demons. You go through the levels. There's some story here and there. You can read all the lore that they hand you if you want that kind of shit. But for the most part, it's just fast, kinetic, first person shooter gameplay. Great. Doom Eternal is like that, except now every couple of levels you go back to this hub world and just kind of dick around for a while. There's like really unnecessary, like cluttered skill trees and shit that like don't need to exist.
Oh. It's basically like, they think they're adding a different layer of complexity to the game, but like there's just one path that just looks so broken and overpowered, and like there's no reason to take any other, like kind of like that.
No, I mean, like, frankly, you don't need any of it. Like, forget the different paths. Like, so for example, you get your weapons, and then over the course of the game, you'll collect these points that you can put into those weapons to unlock modifications for the weapon.
Got
So,
it.
like, as an example, the shotgun that you start the game with gets a modification where you can shoot sticky grenades out of it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Right. And so, like, then you can do that. And then on top of that, you can use those points again to like make those modifications a little bit better. So like your reload speed is faster. You can shoot 3 grenades to 1 grenade, kind of shit like that. Okay. So every modification has 2 of those. And then once you get those 2, then there's a mastery challenge that you have to do where it's like, stick this particular enemy with the sticky grenades and blow its weapon off. Do that 25 times. And so when you do that, then you unlock like the special ability. I can't remember what it is for the shotgun, but just for the sake of argument, we'll just say it's unlimited sticky grenades out of the shotgun or something
Ooh,
like
that
that.
sounds like fun.
Right. And so like they're all fun, they're cool things, but like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weapons in the game
Mm-hmm.
that you have to do this for over and over and over and over again.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like overwhelming, especially when you consider that for the majority of the time, you don't really need most of the modifications. It's just something to do.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like there's an assault rifle weapon that gets an ability where you can shoot grenades out of it instead of bullets.
That's fucking tight.
Yeah, it's fucking dope. And you can do that like when you get the basic modification, you shoot like 5 or something like that. And then if you do the mastery part of it, it's unlimited, so it just burns through all your ammo as grenades instead of bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fucking really good. Like this. Once you have that, there's not a whole lot of reason to use like
anything else, yeah.
I mean, not anything else. All the weapons have their purpose. There's certain demons that are weak to certain weapons and shit like that. Like there's a reason to use everything. Plus, ammo is super limited, so you're gonna rotate through your weapons, shit like that. But the point I'm trying to make is like, so like you have that, and then the other modification that you can put on the assault rifle is like a scope, so you can
Mm-hmm.
like uh do one super powerful bullet into an enemy or something like that. And like, the fuck am I going to do that for when I could just plow it with grenades? Like, there's no, like, I'm not going to waste my time on that. And so, like, when you get late into the game, you find this collectible that just lets you bypass that and immediately master it. And so I ended up just doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sitting there thinking, like, if that's my solution, and they give you a lot of these mastery tokens, by the way. By the end of the game, I mastered every modification, but only because I used like 7 or 8 of those mastery tokens. And
Because you
so,
weren't feeling it.
not even that I wasn't feeling it, but like you just don't have the time.
Yeah.
Like you can tell that if you're gonna do it by the end of the game, you either have to grind this out somehow, like replaying missions, or you have to use the mastery tokens. And to me, like that just it kind of stinks of bad game design.
Yeah. Like trying
Um,
to ham on like replayability in the worst
yeah,
way.
yeah, and I mean I get it. Like Doom is all about replaying the game because that is the game. Like you don't play Doom for the story and shit. You play it to shoot and rip and tear on these demons.
Yeah.
In that
Kind of
regard, it
like
definitely
Duke Nukem.
succeeds. Yeah, except good. Um, um, so I don't know. Like, what I'm trying to say is like, if someone were to ask me, I would be like, play Doom 2016. And then if you really love Doom 2016, play Doom Eternal, but just keep in mind that like it's not really the same beast.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
And have they come out with the PS5 version of Doom Eternal yet? Or no?
yeah, that's actually the version I played. So,
Motherfuck, this makes it even worse.
so what's interesting about that is like I booted up and it's like, do you want to play in this like performance mode that's light ray tracing 60 frames per second locked?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want to play with full perfect ray tracing 60 FPS locked? I was like, what? The fuck? Do I want to play with shitty ray tracing or full ray tracing with no loss of FPS? Give me the full ray tracing. What the fuck kind
Dude,
of
that reminds me of like when there's certain games that when you set your difficulty lower, it basically calls you a pussy.
Oh, it's one of those games. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is one of those games.
basically that's the best shit ever.
I'm super relieved though, because like Doom 2016, you know me, like I like to get me some trophies.
Yeah.
Doom 2016 had a trophy where you had to beat the game on the hardest difficulty on this mode where you get 1 life, and if you die, it deletes your save file.
Oh,
So you had to sit there in one sitting and play the entire game front to back without dying, which isn't as hard. There's the exact same trophy exists in Wolfenstein 2, I
Mhm.
think. And that's fucking impossible. I don't know how anybody fucking does that. That game is ridiculously hard. Doom is not that hard, and
Mhm.
so it's doable. But I was like, "Fuck this, dude.
It's
I'm
not gonna do it,
not doing this."
dude. Speaking of which, like, I want you to play Return. Like, it's
I
such a good and fun game.
First of all,
It's such a good game.
I still need to finish Demon Souls,
Yeah, you do. Oh, I can't.
and then
Mm,
I also want to play the Ghost of Tsushima DLC.
that's a director's cut, right?
Yeah, like there's a full like new island DLC in the director's cut though. Like
Oh,
and
okay.
and it's a PS5 version, so I'm like
Ooh,
that's what I want. I think it's like $30, which ain't bad.
that's not bad at all.
People
Still
are
should play Return.
complaining out their ass for it,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
those two things are like priority, not to mention like the backlog of shit like I need to play through.
Dude, I have so much backlog on my Switch alone. And I was
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
my Switch is ridiculous cuz I keep buying the first party games and I don't
yeah,
play them.
you don't even touch them. It's like I've had the Zelda game. I've had, I think I got Hades, and there
Yeah,
was one other game that I got
oh,
and I
just
still
one?
haven't played.
Only 3? Dude, I got Zelda Age of Calamity I need to beat. I got
Mm-hmm.
Hades, I
Mm-hmm.
got Mario Golf, I
Ew.
got
No.
Pokemon Snap.
No. No. No.
I
No.
like I got so many fucking games on Switch that I haven't touched.
Yeah, I would not play. I wasn't really excited for when they announced Pokemon Snap. It wasn't my cup of tea. Like I
You're
like
the
the
only
N60
one.
version. I know. I like the N64 version, but like replaying it, I'm like, it's not. It's whatever. Like I would play the Diamond and Pearl remake that they're coming out with. Maybe, probably, definitely. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Don't
Yes.
even get me started on Diamond and Pearl.
No, we're not getting
Um,
started on that.
what about the Arceus Legends one? Does that
Fuck.
do anything for you?
No, no. Even though
Pokemon Breath of the Wild ain't doing it for you?
everybody is jizzing themselves over that Growlithe variant.
Which is fucking hideous, but
Yeah, it's like, so what? It's like a play on Chinese dragon lions, whatever. I'm just
I
like,
guess, yeah.
no, I'm not. It wasn't doing it for me. It wasn't doing it for me. Like I actually really liked Sword and Shield. It was way better than I thought it was. The first DLC was disheartening in how
Trash. The word you look
shallow it
for is
was.
trash.
Yeah, but the second DLC was hot. Like
It was. I had to stop because
like we would literally like, are you free? Are you free? Let's raid. Let's just
let's go for the raid. Go get this fucking legendary.
shinies everywhere, dude. When I got that shiny Rayquaza,
God
man,
damn it.
I have 2 shiny Rayquazas.
It's alright. I still got a
Man,
perfect shiny level 100 Rayquaza.
oh
No
my
problem.
god, that game was fun. Like the replayability of just the raids was
Yeah.
amazing. Like, why
You're
didn't
right.
they put that much work and effort into the first DLC? Or why didn't they? I would have rather them wait and release both those DLCs as one like huge expansion. That would have been amazing.
Yeah. I feel like we're waiting on DLC for something, but I don't know what it is.
I don't remember. I still need to finish Breath of the Wild DLC. I haven't done any of that, but like I smashed my last playthrough of it. It was really fun. Like I forgot how much I loved playing that game and doing the fights. Um, so quick like tangent on
I
my
mean,
adventures in
25 minutes
parenting.
in with nothing but tangents. Why
It's
not?
fine. It's fine. On my adventures in child development and parenting. I know I sent you the video, but to all of our listeners,
I know where it's going.
yeah, my 18 month old daughter knows how to open the child protection gate to the kitchen. And it's not just like, oh, she just happened upon it. No, she does it with proficiency every time. And I sent you a video of it, and literally she was like, "Bitch, this ain't shit no more." Like literally walked up to me and was like, "Hey, daddy." walked around, spreading water all over the freshly mopped kitchen. That's fine. So it's to the point to where I can't leave her alone downstairs anymore. Cause like I'll just be like, all right, I'm gonna take a shit. I hear the gate clang, and I'm just like, no. I was like, what the? It's like, okay, I gotta go in the garage and look at this real quick. Hear the gate clang, reaches up, opens the garage door. I was like, mother, can't you just watch Bubble Guppies? Uh, it's now to the point. It's like why do I even have child safety protection in the house? And it's just like you're just basically a grown ass man now. Like I don't even know what to do with you anymore. But the good thing about it is she's starting to actually say words. So she does say thank you when I call her a little shit or I say you're welcome. Um she points and will nod and like confirm or deny if I'm pointing to the right thing that she wants. And now she loves taking walks to where the point of if I'm in a meeting and she's bored, she will get on her chair, climb on the chair, unlock the door, and then open the door, and then start running outside. So that's great. Um, Also, I probably shouldn't be saying this because they might like call a CPS on me. She enjoys riding on the skateboard with me. Think about that for a minute. Let that marinate. All right. So let me defend my choice of vehicle. Um, so I walk the boys to school, um, and we have to park our cars on the street because, long story short, our garage door opener is busted, and we can't get a hold of our rental manager. This is good for a month, so there's no point in me walking to the car, which is probably less than like 2 minutes away from the school, putting the kids in the car, driving them to school, then trying to find a park on the street and walking home. There's no point. So I walked the kids to school. Okay. So I had a couple meetings and I was like, I am very proficient on a skateboard. I can hold the child while I do this. Everything's going to be fine. First off, Isaiah noticeably just yells at me and says that's dangerous. And I'm like, bro, I could do this blindfolded. Like, riding a skateboard is nothing. Like, she's fine. I'm on the phone with my wife. She hangs up with me because she feels like she is an accomplice to my crime. She's like, I feel horrible. I can't be on the phone with you while you're doing this. But like thinking about it, like think about any other vehicle. Like you have a child, like a bicycle. You don't have your two hands free. If a bicycle goes down, you're going down with the bicycle.
So I don't know what the fuck that was, dude.
All right. So evidently, I guess the FBI that's been listening to our podcast is like, oh man, I like you way too much. I'm not going to have them take your family away, so I'm going to cut
like,
you off.
Dude,
we're like shutting it down to save your life.
Then, like, my mic dies, and then my headphones die, and then like I'm getting error messages everywhere. I'm like, what is happening? Like my monitor is flickered.
Straight up just ended up in war games and someone's hacking your console.
Like my power to go down. Just, like some fucking guy comes in, puts a sack over my head and carries me away. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Fucking shit. Oh my god. Oh, so sorry. Yeah. So anyways, back to my child endangerment. So if you're riding a bike, there's no way that you could save you or your child if it goes down. If you're riding a scooter, it's the same thing because your hands aren't free. But also, one of my favorite ways to get around is rollerblades. If you start going down in rollerblades, it's a done deal. It's a wrap. Like, if you can't catch your balance, done. Skateboard, on the other hand, both of my hands are free. All I need is my feet. And if anything goes wrong on a skateboard, I just get off. On top of, I have never fallen off a skateboard since I was 13.
I just feel like
never.
It's a little bit more nuanced than that.
I understand what you're saying. I get where you're coming from. But I'm just saying, if if I had to choose, skateboard
I
is the safest option
suppose you're right.
for so many different reasons. Yes, and I am a terrible parent. Moving along.
Okay. Well, speaking of things that are
Oh
terrible,
my god.
we watched a movie this week. John, I feel like you enjoyed this movie a bit. Oh my god.
Fucking loved it. Dude, I'm sorry, like it's gonna be rare for you. I think that you're gonna find that I'm gonna hate.
Let's just take a look at something real quick. I'm just gonna
Go for
link
it.
this
Have
to
at
you,
it.
and I want your thoughts. I'm not gonna say anything about it. I just want your raw, unadulterated thoughts on this. Give me 1 second here while I pull this up. Yeah, there we go. That's what we're looking for. And we'll just paste that right there. And yeah. So what do you think about that? Oh!
They're all
Oh!
That's all I gotta say about that. 30 and 44? That's a little harsh.
First of all, I agree. I think that is a little harsh. I think this is more like an Alien 3 in terms of quality, which that's sitting at, for reference,
it's
45, 47. So not much better. So I guess maybe that is accurate.
All of y'all. No, I mean I understand why they gave it that score. Like I'm not gonna like have blinders on or think like my opinion is better than anyone else's, other than you motherfuckers. Never mind. No, I get it. Like it was, instead of like the first Alien, which had a lot of nuance to it and a lot of like underlining plot devices that were subtle. This was just like in your fucking face, like in your fucking face Predator, and like just like gang war and like a lot of fucking weapons, and like they were trying to make this into a crazy action movie when, in my opinion, like the best way that Predator can be presented is like more of a stalker slasher film. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, so like you start off the movie in like, I'm guessing what is like a dystopian futuristic LA.
LA 1997. We survived somehow.
Yeah, dystopian futuristic LA. And cuz like dude, they have like, did you look at the pistols that they were carrying?
Yeah,
they have like sights and shit on them, and like
I don't know if they
crazy ass
that
attachments.
It's 1997 LA at the beginning of the movie. I presume so because I didn't pull that out of thin air. But I remember watching the beginning, like the opening scene of this. Was like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Like, why do they have 1,000 sights on their pistols and shit?
Yep, and then like the gangs like have like Phillip assault rifles and like M16s, grenade launchers, and it's not like, you know, like regular type shit. Like a Phillip is like a pretty sophisticated assault rifle. You're not just gonna find someone just randomly carrying around that. That's why I consider it more of a dystopian futuristic look at like what LA could have become
1997.
Especially like in 1997. Like, did you see Homeboy's office in the police station where he was like throwing out statistics and shit? It's like 40% aggressive and like all this bull crap, and I'm just like, they're trying to go for the futuristic vibe, but they didn't want to lean in it too hard, so they're just giving you like subtle. You know,
I need to grab something real quick. Hold it down for me. Just keep going.
Oh no, that's no problem. So what I did notice with like all the assault rifles and everything like that, it's basically like this is like the Predator's best area to find the most aggressive, or like, I'm gonna say hard to get trophies because, like, if you are a predator and you're trying to find really impressive or dangerous game, like a futuristic LA where basically everybody's got a gun or an assault rifle or a grenade launcher, yeah, that's your best bet. It's definitely more dangerous than dealing with a Marine commando group in a secluded jungle. Like you have to worry about buildings and cars and subways and trains. Like the only way that you can really get around is on the rooftops, which honestly in LA there's a lot of, but still, it was it wasn't the Predator that I
Yeah.
would have liked to watch. Like again, I circle back to the fact like Predator is better seen as more of a stalker slasher film than an actual like action movie. And I think they backpedaled on that in Predator 3, I believe. But like it was cool seeing Danny Glover like, you know, being a cop cuz the reason I liked it is like when you have a cop as the central protagonist, it just gives you all this like bullshit funny jokes on the side, like the really bad puns and like all that cop drama that you get. Like, you know, the guy who doesn't care what his captain says is like, fuck you, I don't roll over for anybody. Like that kind of shit. Like, I love that cop drama shit. Like, procedural cop dramas are actually one of my favorite TV series to watch. On top of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is a fucking gem when it comes to comedy. Like, that show is spectacular. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. It's on its last season right now. Watch it from the beginning. You will not find a better comedy show for a good minute. Anyways, but yeah, like centering it around a cop, and then he has to deal with this alien threat while having to butt heads with the feds. Like, dude, I eat that shit up. That was great, especially with Gary Busey, the head of the feds. He just
Dude,
plays
I
an
was watching
asshole
that.
so
I was like,
well.
is
I
that
love
Gary
Busey as the
Busey?
asshole.
That fucking is Gary Busey.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
fucking which Baldwin is that? That's like his secondhand man and shit.
Oh yeah. And he like ends up playing in a lot of other like FBI security roles down the line. Yeah.
I don't know.
How many Baldwins are there? Like they like the Wayneses. They're just come popping out of everywhere.
Baldwin brothers are there? There's 4 Baldwins.
It's too many.
But that's
Baldwins.
only the brothers, so worth noting.
Yeah, dude, that's not. Look at the Wayneses. They made their own company to make sure they all had work.
Wait.
Let me see how many I can name off the top of my head. There's Damon, Keenan, Marlon, Sean, Kim. I'm missing some because I think there's 7. I'm pretty sure there's 7.
Wait, I'm so confused. Is this a totally unrelated Baldwin? Is Adam Baldwin just a random dude with the last name Baldwin? No fucking way, dude. Adam Baldwin.
He's just he just happens to be someone who has the name.
He is. He's just totally unrelated to the Baldwins.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's Sean, Marlon, Damon, Dwayne, Kim, Elvira, Vonnie, Deirdre, and Nadia.
This is fucking wild. I cannot.
9 of them.
What?
How did I forget?
Justin Bieber is related to the Baldwins?
In what capacity?
I don't know. I can't read this shit.
You can't read words?
This isn't just words. This is like a descendant tree.
Oh no, 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 no! I already know exactly what you're talking about. No,
So
nope,
I'm going to take a
not
stab
even
at
gonna get
this.
into that.
Stephen
Don't
Baldwin.
do it. This
Stephen
isn't
Baldwin
23 and Me.
married Kenya Diodato. They had a child, Haley Rode Baldwin, who then had Justin Bieber.
So that would make him his like grand nephew or something like that. No, nephew. Grandchild.
Oh, that's his
Yeah,
wife. Okay, he married a Baldwin. There we go. Justin Bieber is married to the daughter of
Justin Bieber
Stephen Baldwin.
married. So son-in-law. That makes more sense.
Yes.
Wait, Justin Bieber married someone? Oh,
We've gone so far off track.
all right.
Oh, like I'm just
We
stunned
really
that
have.
Adam Baldwin is not related to the Baldwins in any way, shape, or form. Although he really doesn't look like them at all,
He's
so I
not
guess
actual.
not that surprising.
He doesn't.
Anyway, Adam Baldwin is Adam
Back
Baldwin's a
to the
great man.
gore of Los Angeles.
He's done some cool shit.
He really is, yeah.
So the question must be asked: how much worse is this movie than the
Yes, sir.
original? Yeah.
In my opinion,
And why is the answer in every way, shape, or form?
it's a lot worse because again, like you don't get that nuance like somebody's watching you feel
No,
in this
dude.
movie that you did
Like
in
the
the
first
first
one
one.
is like
Like that's
Jaws,
a
right? You know that the predator's
yeah,
around. You know that
you know he's
Yautja is
there.
hunting you. He's in the trees. And in this movie, she's like, "What's up, bitch? We'll fight." Like he just tried to intimidate
Yeah,
motherfuckers, just dropping his cloak every 5 minutes.
like he's talking all this shit. I will say that they used his like mimicry a little bit better to where like he would give like one liners and stuff like
So,
that
I
shit
was
like
going to ask
you
you
want
about that
some
because we
candy.
talked about this last week. How the way that he
Yeah,
spoke,
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
first one spoke, it kind of implied that he kind of understood, but like there's so much room there that you like, nah, it's probably just saying random shit. I would argue in this movie, there's no
Yeah, like room
way
for
that he doesn't
interpretation.
understand English to some extent. Like the way that he uses those
To
phrases,
some
like there's just
extent,
no fucking. He finishes his sentence when he goes to call him an ugly motherfucker, dude.
yeah, but like the way that he used it, it wasn't him finishing his sentence. He was calling the dude that was like filled him full of shotgun
Right.
lead a
I mean, like it
motherfucker. You
works
know
on
what I
both
mean?
levels, but like either way, he has to know what the word is and then be able to use it appropriately. Like that's fucking wild, dude.
Yeah. The fact when he grabbed homeboy in the apartment and he said Danny
I'm not even
boy.
going to get into how
Danny
fucking weird it
boy.
is that he just kept calling him Danny Boy the whole movie. No, it's weird, dude. It's
It's fine.
weird.
I mean, they've been
I
like
don't give a
they've
shit. I don't
known each
go
other
around
for a
calling you
long
Johnny
time.
Boy.
It's
No, I
I
don't.
mean,
The
sometimes you
fuck?
do, but it's not as bad as like the implications in the first movie with
Oh, with
what's
Billy
his name?
or
Uh
not Billy.
yeah, dude, it was like there was like some homoerotic undertones of how much he like
I mean,
disliked homeboy going
I'd
down.
be upset if Jesse the Body Ventura went down on my watch too.
See, the way that you said the body kind of gives me
Pause.
pause. It's like Jesse the body
Like you can't just call him
Ventura.
Jesse Ventura. It doesn't even sound right. He's Jesse the Body Ventura.
You take about the body and just start
The,
rolling.
the Body. Oh
Please
shit.
stop. Fuck. Oh fucking shit. But no, like yeah, it is drastically inferior to the original in every way, shape, or form because you lose
Mhm.
that stalking element. Actually, I would like to say that he wasn't the predator. Like everybody else was hunting him. I feel like it's a good and a bad thing for this movie because it gives you a realization that like not all predators are the same. Like yeah, they have the same like code and moral high ground, but they have individuality to where they can basically be like I could kill this dude, but it's like no, it's not the right time. Like not all of them are set in stone to do the same thing in every
Right.
same situation. You know what I mean? Which I kind of like because when you go to like aliens and stuff like that, they're like just animalistic predators, so you kind of get what they're gonna do, or you kind of get like their motivations. But when you're dealing with a predator, depending on which one you're dealing with, it's just like dealing with a person or like I don't know, like random serial killers or like anybody in a zombie apocalypse. Like you don't know what they're gonna do. You can't really guess, like, and you don't know what their moral code is and what would bastardize that code and make them fly off the handle and just murder you right on the
Right.
spot. You know what I mean? Like there is like an underlining rules, but like this predator is showing you those are more like guidelines. Like I can choose to follow them or not, but the main objective I have is the thrill of the hunt. And when I've seen that trope used, like it can be taken to like a high level to where like a person is like, no, this fight isn't the best, but you have potential. So I'm going to do this really fucked up thing to drive you to be more powerful or more angry at me to where like when we finally do have this final confrontation, I'll have more enjoyment. You know, that kind of stuff. Which I like that they introduced that aspect in this movie, but it loses the wow and the suspense and the just thrill of the first movie because honestly in the first movie the predator
Yeah,
didn't get
that's
that much
true.
screen time compared to this one. I feel like they're more like compared to the first movie to where like he couldn't bend his waist and he needed like wires to move. It's like, oh, we got a full working animatronic bodysuit that he can move and boogie woogie woogie in. Like we need to show him off as much as possible, which was honestly to the movie's detriment.
So, God, there's so many things I want to talk about in this movie.
Start at one.
I want to lead with what I think is the most interesting part of the movie, and that's the ending.
Okay, yeah.
So
Definitely the most interesting
we
part.
find out this movie leans a lot more into like the honor part of the hunt that goes with the
Mm-hmm.
hunters, if you will. The Yahucha.
Yeah.
And
Please stop.
so he finds the predator mothership underneath a random elevator in the middle of Los Angeles, which I'm not gonna touch that with the 10-foot pole, but
On top of the fact, like, did you see how
yeah.
massive that thing is? And it's just in a
I'm
hole
like,
in the
this doesn't
ground.
make
I'm
any
like,
sense, but I'm gonna roll with it because none of this made sense up to this point.
yeah,
But
exactly.
first of all, one of the first things that we see once he goes into the ship is his trophy wall, which has a fucking xenomorph head on the wall.
And I feel like the other skulls have some sort of significance to other
Yeah,
movie
they don't, but
monsters.
I felt the same way. Like they seem to like evoke other movie monsters. But apparently they're not relevant at
Hmm.
all. I looked up that was the first thing I did. I was like, is there anything?
First thing
No.
you did, yeah.
But what there is there's extensive lore about the other predators on the ship.
Ooh. Which, like, was pretty fucking dope. that they had all these different predators with different masks or
Dude, I
unmasked, and
love that
it was
it was
pretty fucking
like,
sick.
okay, I fucking killed him. We're good. Fuck. And then my boy's just like, all
Yeah,
right,
he's
who
just,
wants an ass whooping next?
who's next?
I was like, you know, you're gonna die. That's a G thing to say, dude.
Yeah, that's like if that was his last words, I would have write that on his tombstone and make sure
Now,
everybody knew it.
every single one of these Yaucha. I'm sorry, I can't call them anything else. It's what they're called, dude. Like, whether you like it or
Whatever. All
not, the
right,
species is
continue.
called Yaucha. It just doesn't make any sense to call them anything else.
I I get it. I understand. It
Yes.
doesn't mean I have
Anyway,
to
they
like it.
all have a name. So the elder that gives him the flintlock pistols, Greyback. Then there's Boar.
That's pretty sick.
Boar is. Does it tell me what his role is? He's a stalker. Then there's Borg, not to be confused with Boar. That is Borg.
Got it.
He's a blooded. Yeah,
A
okay.
blooded.
Let's go down that rabbit hole. Why not? Fuck it. Do it live. Blooded is the rank young blood Yaucha attain after successfully killing their prey and marking themselves with their blood, notably the xenomorph species. According to
Yeah,
some
I know what that
sources,
is.
young
Okay.
hunters jump straight from unblooded to blooded after the blooding ritual, which we will definitely get to later.
That's a lot of blood.
Blood, blood, blood.
That's
blood,
a
blood.
lot of use of the word blood.
Okay. So after Borg, we have the City Hunter. He's the one that we deal with for most of the movie. He is also a blooded. Then we have the Guardian. We actually don't have a rank for the Guardian.
What is the Guardian's role?
That's
though?
his alias, the Guardian, not like his rank. He's also known as Gort, which we're gonna forget about that.
Worst name.
Then
Worst
there's
name of the
Scout,
bunch. Yeah.
also known as the Lost Hunter. Not, I don't know. That's a great question. You know what? Fuck it. Scout predator born on harsh and isolated island in Yaucha Prime. Scout descends from a rare subspecies that inhabits Yaucha Prime. This island is known for breeding experienced poachers and long-range hunters. This is as a means of surviving wildlife. Whoever wrote this needs a real education on English grammar, but we'll move on. Scout and his clanmates engaged Harrington aboard their ship after he defeated the City Hunter in hand-to-hand duel. Knowing that Harrington had won an honorable battle, they forgave him, collecting the body of the City Hunter. Greyback honored him with a full-out pistol. Harrington, yeah, it doesn't really tell me shit. Why is he the Lost Hunter? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just a really random name.
Is.
And the fact like the elder is like take it. Like the elder probably has the most English vocabulary under his belt, if you think about it. Said it was from like 1712. Like what's their average lifespan?
So there's actually a comic. It's called Predator 1718. That's about how he obtained that pistol. I'm probably going to read that between this episode and our next episode, but
that sounds like a good idea.
Can we find life cycle? Yoshi said to reach physical adulthood at about 50 to 60 years of age. Lifespan? Nope. While the maximum or typical lifespan of a predator is not known, it is accepted as being well in excess of human lifespans, and it has been implied that predator elders can live for hundreds to thousands of years. One predator called Kalakta is said to be thousands of years old. he comments that human life hurries as if eager to its end in comparison to a Yautja's lifespan.
Okay.
Okay, so that was Scout or the Lost Hunter. Then there's Shaman,
Mm-hmm.
who's the one who looks like Shaman. Then there's
Like a
Snake.
shaman?
He's the other one that has no headdress on. He's related to Viper,
Mm-hmm.
who is not here. So that's interesting. So that means that Snake has some backstory, probably in the comics or something. Then there's Stalker, who's related to Boar. So Boar and Stalker are brothers. He is
That's
also
why they
known
have
as Baby
similar
Boar.
helmets, right?
So that's kind of do they have similar
Baby
helmets?
Boar. All right.
Yeah,
They do.
I
Like they're
guess they
just
do.
one's just
I
shinier than
wouldn't
the other.
say that they're identical. They're pretty close though. And finally, Warrior,
Yeah.
also known as Ram.
Yeah.
Ram, as in the
Ram?
Los Angeles Rams, which is super appropriate since this is
Ew,
the
why would
Los
you
Angeles hunting
make that
park.
comparison?
See what I did there?
Oh, fucking shit. No, I didn't
Got
like it at all. Golden
fucking
State
what the
Warriors, how about
fuck?
that?
They trying to represent the Golden State piece of shit. Have some fucking respect for the fact that you live in
shit.
LA and not up there in fucking Oakland.
I don't even rep.
You don't
all
rep
teams.
anybody,
Let's get
all
that
right?
out of the way. Thank you. Yes. Unbiased opinion.
No.
Slightly. Mostly. Westbrook. What?
So here's my question. Based on what we know
Yeah.
about all of these Yautja and what we see in the movie, are we to conclude that multiple Yautja were out there hunting and we just follow the city hunter the whole time? Or was it like his hunt
So,
and they're just his hunting party to go with him? Also, for the record, the city hunter predator is also known as Ghost, which is fucking dope. That's a great name.
fucking amazing, yeah. It's probably one of the best fucking names that you could have as a predator. Like, even if it was like a call name,
Straight up.
one of the best names ever. Like, yeah. So if you remember, what's his name? Kelly, the FBI agent who is heading the team in order to catch the predator, the city hunter. He noted that he's been on a safari hunting, and he like listed off a bunch of places like the safari and like the different jungles, forests, and stuff like that, hunting big game. So the way that I see it is that's not actually city hunter. That's actually other Yautja on their hunt on Earth, and then City Hunter is doing his hunt in the city. Like I feel like they'll scout areas for dangerous game and be like, okay, homeboys are like, I'm gonna go to that one, and another one's gonna be like, I'm gonna do that one, and they're just there as like backup for their hunts. Because if you notice, like none of them showed their face or made their presence known until they're on the ship, because they're just there for like basically protection in case shit goes awry. Like they're not going to intercede on another predator's hunt, and especially if like it's a one-on-one honorable battle, they're not going to intercede on that. But if it's like unjust or it breaks their code of battle, then they're going to step in. Yeah, I mean it's again guidelines, but at least in this one, like you get a better sense of like they're not going to murder the innocent. So like he let a child go who saw him exactly, even had a fake gun. And he's like, check. He's like, is that a real gun? Nah, you cool, little man.
Want some
candy? Didn't murder the
Uh-huh.
pregnant cop, the pregnant officer, because again, innocent. So they do have guidelines and rules. Um, but that scene on the subway tracks where like basically everybody was strapped, and he's like, "Oh, it's Christmas." Like he's just went on a spree. Oh man. I still think it's like probably one of the best parts of the movie where that guy was like, "Oh, my friend here needs money for his operation." He's like, "Oh yeah, there's no need to do that." All right, back up. Who wants some? He's waiting his whole life for that moment to pull out his strap. Oh man, but yeah, I feel like that scene could have been better. I feel like they could have been better. Like if they're gonna make this into like an action murder fest, they should have made that scene a little bit more gory, in my opinion. But I mean, this is like what 1990 when this was made. It's fine. Oh yeah, that's right. It was made
Yeah.
in 1990. So that means 1997 is technically of that time futuristic Los Angeles.
Okay.
All right, cool. John's right. Anyways, but the fact like he's getting off on ripping ripping skulls and spines out. Like I felt bad for the lone gunman. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's my specialty." Like basically saying all these jokes, trying to get on everybody's good side, like really trying to be suave and charming, and then just get straight murked. So where his headless body is just on the tracks, dude. Oh, that fucking sucked. He threw a golf ball at him. That shit was comedy. He's like, just wasted all my clip.
What killed me about that though is like
Didn't work.
it implies he's like bulletproof, but he's not. Like I don't.
No, it's just that
No,
everybody's
dude. Like if you watch that scene, bullets are
like,
clanging off of him. Yeah.
Really? I didn't see. Like I was watching for that, and it
he
didn't
definitely
seem like
missed some shots, but
I
like
just felt
he hit him a few times. It just didn't do shit.
Mm-hmm. Either that or he had armor. He was just hitting them in the armor plated portions because his whole
that's what I'm saying. Like
free.
he's literally the size of the subway. Fuck it. Like how'd you miss? Like
and you ain't hit nothing.
Way.
And he wasn't
fucking.
He wasn't trying to
up on him like he's Michael Myers like that. It's like he went full fucking Jason Voorhees on this motherfucker in this movie.
He was straight drooling and slapping.
And then took his sweet ass time dragging his bitch ass out of the subway down the fucking tunnel so Danny Glover could see him rip his spine out, and then the Predator runs like a bitch. He's like he looked like he just got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, bro.
Dude, he's literally in there. He's like got half of his spine out. I was like, he's there.
Right away.
We fly.
Oh fuck, dude, I can't.
Oh fuck, dude. It was so good. Like that part was funny, but like we also got another tidbit of information that the Yautja can see in different spectrums. Like when they're setting up the ambush in the slaughterhouse. That was pretty dope. Actually, one of the main reasons I like this movie was the new tech that they introduced.
There's a lot of new lore and things
pretty fucking sick
in this movie. Like, as much as I don't love this movie, what it adds to the lore of Predator is
it does really introduce a lot of stuff. Yeah, yeah, like the retractable. It's a javelin because a spear only has one tip side, but a javelin has two. And then a chakram, which was my favorite. That scene is probably like one of my favorite scenes out of all like the Predator movies total. But that's just from memory right now. It might change, but where he threw it and then you just see the cow carcass is dropping and then you just see half his body and all his blood. I was like, First of all,
I just
what happened to the
I just
top
love
half
how
of
he's
his
like,
body?
"This is
It's
my
fine.
fight. Get out of here. It's me and him now."
And then just get murked. Just get murked. Like literally, I just hear the Predator just be like, "Bitch,
I'm
you
sorry.
thought."
You think this is a fight between who?
It's like, oh, I was saving this for my birthday, but I guess
Just
it's my
between me
birthday
and him.
today.
Want some candy?
He thought he was gonna win with a super soaker. Basically, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna spray him with this liquid nitrogen. Oh yeah, he's gonna get really chilly. He's gonna need a sweater. That's when we'll get him. At least like Danny Glover was busting his ass. He hit him with like 4 good shots to the.
I mean, Danny Glover fucked his ass up more than Dutch did in the first movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, who do you think gave the better fight?
Okay,
Dutch or Danny Glover?
So here's the thing. Danny Glover cheated.
Okay.
Danny Glover's got what we like to call in the biz plot armor. Like, he would have got his ass fucked up. Bro, right. The Predator in the first movie fucks Arnold Schwarzenegger's ass up, dude. Like, just lays his bitch ass out immediately and with extreme prejudice. And you mean to tell me that this punk ass LA cop is gonna hold his own and fucking murder him in his bare? No, get the fuck out of here, dude.
The worst part is like he took a straight shot from I think it was a missile or a laser, and like he just had like the bulletproof vest with like extra padding of a steel plate, and I was like, isn't that like advanced alien technology? Like that shouldn't save him. It should have a hole in his liver right now.
Anything off these fucking aliens not just obliterate a carcass. But Danny Glover's over here just, oh shit, that's hot. Let me take that off. All right, we're good. Let's keep going. Just squares up and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, plot armor, he cut off his arm. I mean, he was one-handed. To be fair, though, like him one-handed should still beat his ass.
In spite of the fact that in this movie, they clarify that the explosion from the first movie covered 300 city blocks, and my man survived without a scratch.
I'm telling you, he hits the 40-yard dash in 0.2 seconds. Fuck Usain Bolt. I tried to tell you the first time.
Schwarzenegger is by far the fastest man to ever live.
Arnold Schwarzenegger does not skip leg day,
but,
sir.
Like, despite that, it still took him like, I don't know, 3-4 seconds of like watching the timer count down before he comprehended what was even going on.
Started running, yeah.
My man
he's like, what do you even... Like, he didn't start running until he heard the maniacal laughter. He was like, oh, that's a bad sign.
Watching this. He starts laughing. He's like, oh, I understand what's going on here. Danny Glover just goes, I immediately understand what's going on. Cut off the arm, problem solved. Like, what?
Well, Kelly did tell him about the device.
Yeah.
He didn't know specifically but he could have surmised.
Like, he surmised instantaneously, had the presence of mind to surmise that. I'll just roll with that. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, you know that this is a explosive capable of leveling 300 city blocks, and your response is to hit it?
I mean, to be fair, it's either he does something or just take the L.
I'm feeling like he's going to take the L anyway.
It's regardless, like in that situation, I'd do some shit. Like your brain's not going to work logically, pragmatically in that kind of situation, especially like when there's a fucking loud ass timer going off right next to you while something that's 10 foot probably weighs a good 600 pounds dragging your arm over a ledge. Nah. You just do whatever you think might get you out of it and hope for the best. It's either do something or
I
take
mean,
the L. I'm
not.
gonna
I'm
do
still
something.
not buying that he has the presence of mind to do anything at all. But sure, I guess I'll allow it.
Yeah,
What I
to be
won't allow is the Yautja
uh-huh.
are an extremely intelligent species, extraordinarily intelligent.
Okay.
My man gets his arm
Yeah.
cut off, grabs a pole, and
Mm-hmm.
falls into an adjacent apartment building. Stops dead in his tracks and
Gotcha.
sets up a med tent. Just starts patching himself up. Like, this man just got his arm cut off and doesn't give a fuck that Danny Glover is right outside. Just doesn't even care.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. He got to patch himself up because he knows he's like, oh man, I'm about to give him this ass wound, but I got to be in the top physical condition, so I got to plug up these wounds. I'm bleeding out everywhere. Because, dude, Danny Glover hit him like a good 5-6 times with a shotgun to the torso.
And he, like, just shook that off. Like, didn't even care. And
shrugged it off. It's like, yeah, that's all
he
right.
gets into this fucking bathroom, now he's like, well, since I'm patching my arm up, I might as well just patch this shit up too. Because, I mean, nobody cares about this fucking cop out here.
I mean, they're incredible. I'm just saying they're incredibly intelligent. Like he doesn't see the cop as
what
a
is the
threat,
lady in the apartment building saying? Like,
which is
don't worry, I'm a cop. I don't think he gives a shit. Like, I think you're right. I don't think he does.
I'm serious. Like he probably
Okay.
doesn't perceive the cop as a threat, but him
But
bleeding out
problem
is a
with that.
threat to his life.
He's stalking
Okay.
this one specific cop the whole movie. Why?
Is he stuck? Oh, well,
The
he is kind of
whole
paying attention to him
movie.
because of his aggressiveness,
Like,
I
from
guess.
the moment we said jump, he's watching, and
We start
specifically
watching,
watching Danny Glover's character. He follows him to the cemetery for no fucking reason. Like, he is legitimately stalking him. Why? Especially if he's no threat. Why the fuck am I going to bother following this bitch to the cemetery? I could be out here killing Jamaicans or whatever.
I think he wasn't stalking
what the fuck is he
him
doing at the
specifically.
cemetery?
I think no, not at the cemetery. I'm talking about at the beginning of the movie. He wasn't stalking him specifically. He was trying to find worthy prey. And what better place could you find worthy prey than a fucking gunfight of futuristic weapons between gang members and cops? You think about it, the most adversarial and challenging group of individuals to take out that were secluded from everyone else were the gang members when they went into that building to stock up on armaments to take out the cops. Which was funny because Homeboy got shot in the shoulder and he takes a handful of cocaine,
ham on that coke,
snorts it, and then puts it in his wound. He just snorts it and puts it in his wound, and I'm just like, what?
Bro, my man was just like,
what? Sure.
Ooh, let's go.
Scorpio. He's like a dual akimbo Uzis and shit. But that's what I mean. So after that, during that whole battle, he saw that Danny Glover's character pushed the gang members back when no other cops could. Like, he basically took off the door to his car, put some bulletproof vests in the window, which that's not how that shit works. Especially with high-powered assault rifles, those bulletproof vests don't do shit. Anyways, drove up to them, blocked off their line of fire so the cops could save the motorcycle cops that were wounded, and then double backed around them and shot those motherfuckers up with a shotgun. So out of that whole group, he saw that he was the most aggressive and probably the worthiest to kill. And throughout the rest of the movie, he was antagonizing him to follow him and to get like basically a secluded one-on-one with him. Like basically saying like, oh, this is your friend, you've been around him. If I kill him, he's going to make you come to me with more vim and vigor and rage, and this is going to be a better fight for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I think happened. He just tagged him, basically like, That's the one. That's gonna be my prime trophy right there. I'm gonna have that motherfucker on the mantle, bronzed and everything, ready to go. If you noticed, there was a scene in the movie where Danny Glover finished talking to the lieutenant when they were trying to figure out who was killing everybody, where he's staring into a shop that's full of taxidermy, and then it zooms out and it shows Danny Glover's visage on top of all the taxidermy, like he's gonna be the next trophy.
Yeah, maybe.
Like that's what I feel that was actually what happened. Like the predator just saw him as the worthiest prey out of everybody that was in that shootout. Like if you think about that, anybody like looking out, all the cops were at a standstill. It was a Mexican standoff, and they were actually getting pushed back by the gang members. And then you got one dude crazy enough to get in a fucking car to block off their line of fire so they could actually save those cops, and then not run away to safety, but further push into enemy territory to take them out. That's insane. And that would gain like someone's respect watching that.
I don't know, maybe, but like at the same time, he also puts Bill Paxton's character's head on his mantle. So I'm like he kills so many characters, but he only puts two heads on his mantle. He puts King Willie and then Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
And then presumably if he had killed Danny Glover, he would have been there too.
I
Like
think
King
it
Willie
was
barely puts up a fight.
because no, but it's not that King Willie barely puts up a fight. It's the fact that he didn't run like a
Yeah, but
bitch.
nobody does.
He like no offense.
As far as we know.
I feel like the other ones didn't have a choice. Like he
What
ambushed
kind
the
of rule is
gang
that?
members.
Like you ambush these
Uh
motherfuckers in a warehouse, and then you go, yeah, they couldn't run away, so it's not good. Like that's
yeah, they got killed by surprise. But if you drop down from the building, you're this big imposing motherfucker. You know you're the baddest motherfucker on the planet right now. These people aren't nowhere near your size, height, weight. They're not hitting in your weight class. Like they're featherweight and you're super heavyweight. And they don't run and they actually stand their ground and try to fight you. Even though you know it's futile, you have to give them respect. So they earn the place as a trophy. And like Big Willie D, he saw him. He's like, "Oh, you want some of this?" He whipped out a fucking knife out of his cane. Is like, "Come and get some." Instead of just being like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna fucking die. I gotta run." And Bill Paxton's character, like everybody else, got taken out through the flashing lights, strobe lights of the train. You couldn't really see him, and like he surprise attacked them. Bill Paxton was the last one alive at the end of the train, and instead of like running, crying, whimpering for his life like a little bitch, he unloads all of his clips and like, I have a golf ball. Fuck it, I'm gonna throw this golf ball at him. Like he's just basically like, I'm gonna fight to the bitter end. That's honorable. So he deserves to be a trophy. I feel like that's how it played out.
Maybe. I don't know. I think that it's all a little bit muddled and fucked up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and that's what I was talking about. Is like this introduced like predators having individual thoughts. Like they use their culture's code as a guideline, but what they determine as an honorable kill or a trophy worthy head or skull spine combo at Jack in the Box is really up to them. And I feel like this predator is like, I know I can take anyone out and I'm just doing this for sport. But if I meet a weak creature and they decide to stand their ground and fight to the bitter end, I respect that. So they deserve a place on my mantle. And that's how I think that predator interpreted the code that they had of who is worthy kill, who is a worthy to be a trophy. And that's again, that's why I kind of like this movie, even though it's nowhere near as good as the first movie, not even close by a long shot whatsoever. but it does introduce a lot of ideals and lore and cool tech. It introduces a lot of great shit, basically.
Yeah, I'll roll with that. I want to change gears for a second. So there's
Okay.
two characters that stood out to me a lot when I was watching this movie, and that is
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna pull them up. Um, oh, well,
You
I
okay
was
over
trying
there?
to find the names of the characters, and I just can't stumbled across this fact. Gary Busey plays Special Agent Peter Keyes. The character is a replacement for Dutch, the protagonist from the first film, after Arnold Schwarzenegger declined to reprise the role.
That would have been cool, but I'm actually
Like,
glad
if
that he
the
didn't
role
reprise his
stays
role.
as is, but you just swap in Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't know if I like that.
No, it would not have been good. Like Arnold's, I feel like Dutch as a character, like that would have been a total 180 of who his character like was
Right.
and what he represented. Like Dutch isn't gonna throw himself into the fucking fire out of a frying pan just because he has some sort of personal vendetta against something that he knows related to what killed his men, but he already got his revenge. There's no reason he's just gonna dedicate his life
I
to
will say
like
this.
getting that motherfucker.
I actually read something about this, and apparently he declined the role because he thought putting the Yautja in a city was a stupid idea.
That's
Kind
fine.
of.
That's
Anyway,
fair,
the two
actually.
characters that I was talking about are Detective Jerry Lambert, played by Bill Paxton, and Detective Leona Cantrell. Now, the reason that these two characters stand out to me is because this is Predator 2. If you think back in
Okay.
Alien 2, Aliens, we also meet my man Bill Paxton in that movie. And at first, I thought Leona was played by the same actress that plays what's her name in that movie. And I was like, "Oh, that's fucking interesting. Like you got the
Uh,
same two characters from Aliens to show up in Predator 2. That's kind of weird." Well, it's not the same actress.
mhm.
But
Yeah.
the lead role in this movie is played by Danny Glover. Danny Glover also
Yeah.
plays a cop in Lethal Weapon. And guess who also
Yep.
stars in one of the Lethal Weapon movies? That's right, the same woman who does play that character from Aliens. It's like playing 6 Degrees to Kevin Bacon. Which by the way is
All
actually
right.
really
Okay.
easy with this movie. Danny Glover, Lethal Weapon 4, also has Joe Pesci in it. Joe Pesci's in JFK. JFK has Kevin Bacon. Yeah,
Is
you've
that
never
an
played
actual
6
game?
Degrees of Kevin Bacon? Yeah, the
No, I
idea
have
is that you
never
can link
played. Oh my
anything back
god.
to
What the?
Kevin Bacon in 6 movies or less.
I feel like that would be more applicable to like Samuel L.
Today it
Jackson
might
if
be.
you
I mean,
think
like
about
when
it,
when Six
but
Degrees of
that's
Kevin
fine.
Bacon came out, he was like the guy. He was the Sam Jackson, right?
Okay, all right. Okay, first of all, you fucked up. You should never say 6 degrees. The better choice is always
I've never
Bacon's
heard
Law.
Bacon's Law before.
Well, now you have, and that's the way we're going to talk about it from now on, if we ever talk about it whatsoever. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon is flawed compared to Bacon's Law. Bacon's Law is prime choice real estate naming convention.
I love this description of it too. 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon or Bacon's Law is a parlor game where players challenge each other to arbitrarily choose an actor and then connect them to another actor via a film that both actors have appeared in together, repeating this process to try and find the shortest path that ultimately leads to prolific American treasure Kevin Bacon.
Prolific
I
American
may
treasure
have
Kevin Bacon.
inflated that last bit a little bit.
I'm reading it right now. You kind of didn't.
So yeah, very easy to get to Kevin Bacon from this movie. But anyway, my point was that I thought it was a really interesting choice that they had Bill Paxton in this movie and Aliens. And the reason that I bring this up, other than just to put that out there into the ether, but you remember how a little while ago I was talking about Colacta, the like thousands of year old predator? My boy Colacta is from a novel called Predator Incursion. It's part of the Rage War trilogy. And this is what Colacta's Xenopedia page says. Colacta was an elder predator who made an appearance in the Rage War trilogy. He is thousands of years old and recounts a time when the Yautja were locked in a war with a species much more ancient than humans, xenomorph, or the Yautja themselves, the Drukathi. Colacta implies that he may be a descendant of the Los Angeles hunting party, referencing them. Now, if we click through to the Drukathi were an ancient race of aliens that used to inhabit the Milky Way galaxy. For those keeping track at home that don't know shit, that's our galaxy where we live here on Earth. They possessed immensely powerful and advanced technologies to the point where even the Yautja feared them, despite the fact that the Drukathi had moved on and no longer inhabited the galaxy. Now, this is the part that I bring all of this up to bring it around. Notably, the Drukathi had a close relationship with the species Xenomorph XX121, apparently breeding and otherwise utilizing the creatures for their own ends. John, what's the problem with that?
Didn't the engineers technically create the Xenomorphs?
They did.
Along with David?
Yep.
So they just 100%,
because that all happens many, like 200 plus years in the future from now. And this movie takes place in 1997.
Yeah.
But this species is like way older than human. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Doesn't at all.
So, what I'm trying to say is trying to keep track of the lore of Alien and Predator and make them meld together in a way that makes sense. Not great. It's bad.
Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Like it's terrible. Because like we were talking about this when we were first talking about like tackling these film series. Like, how does that happen when the xenomorphs technically don't get created until later on? You know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't. I don't know, man. But
time travel. Got it. I won.
Yeah. There's also something called a super predator. Just gonna throw that out there for no particular reason. And a specific predator. Female Yautja called Big Mama. You sound like you need a picture of Big Mama. There you go. No problem.
I don't.
Now, here's what I have to say.
Okay, Big Mama looks tight.
That's what I have to say. The Predator, it doesn't matter which Predator you're talking about. These motherfuckers just look badass.
They look dope as shit. I think I'm going to dress up as Predator for Halloween.
Here's the fucked up part. So I clicked into Super Predator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a little preface to this lore I'm about to drop on. You remember how the Predator from the first movie was called the Jungle Hunter? Well, he's part of a clan, much like the Los Angeles hunting clan that we were talking about earlier. This would be the Jungle Hunter clan.
Yeah. Yes.
is probably the best known group of Yautja. Okay, debatable, but let's move on. The most famous
Best known group of Yautja.
The most famous recorded human encounter with this clan was when an individual tracked down and slowly picked off Dutch's mercenary squad in Guatemala. Okay, great. Now, super predators, also known as berserker Yautja. I'm telling, dude, these fucking things are so
Yautja.
cool.
All right.
Are a subspecies of the Yautja race. They are essentially a larger, stronger version of the jungle hunter predators.
Why do we need a stronger version of those predators?
How fucking dope
That's what
is
I
that?
want to know.
Let me name off
terrible.
a couple of the individuals in this clan for you. Scavenge, Tracker, Falconer, Berserker, and Nightstorm.
So those are some dope ass names.
Really into Nightstorm, dude. Like, he looks kind of weird, but I'm totally into it. I'm just gonna drop this one for you too.
Yeah.
I highly encourage all of our listeners to go to Xenopedia and just start clicking through pages. Like, it's so good. I love every page that I run into on this website. Apparently, there was a war between the Yautja and the super predators spanning several millennia. Nightstorm is just big shit talker, I guess. Also, we are going to run into some super predators in the very next movie. Are you ready for the super predator?
No, I don't want to see the super predator, but I'm all about this fucking mask I just saw. I'm down to drop $2 bills on that bitch.
This is the one from the first movie, which is like the most basic bitch fucking
one.
mask.
Basic one,
like,
yeah.
It's cool and all. Here's my question.
Oh my god. So this but like, look at this one. And this one is just straight up, they're just like, I'm not going to do any of the work. I'm just going to make a biker helmet look as close to a predator mask as possible. And you could tell.
This one,
but the jungle mask one I sent you looks pretty dope.
Like Boar's helmet, right? It totally does. It totally does.
Nah, I'm not digging it at all. It's actually a helmet cover. No wonder that's why it looks like that. You're still
anyway. If I was going to get like a predator helmet, I just feel like the jungle hunter is not the way to go.
It's not the one. I totally agree with you on that. Yes, but if I want something that looks like good and authentic, as of right now, that's the best one. Never mind.
What do we got?
It's cheaper too.
Oh, it's on Amazon. What? Oh shit! Look at this. Predator mask movie game 1-to-1 helmet resin black relica for men Halloween cosplay costume, $122. John, we gotta get the fuck out of here before you make some really bad financial decisions. What are your final thoughts on Predator 2, man?
Too late. My final thoughts on Predator 2 is you could have done better, my boy. I give you a pass now because you introduced so much cool shit, technology, lore, and otherwise, but the premise of the movie was very lacking, especially when you started off so strong with the first movie. Like, in all different aspects of storytelling and just shining a light on how amazing of a movie monster the Predator is, with actually giving him the least amount of screen time. So I feel like it was a fail. It could have been way better.
it's super apparent to me why this movie basically killed the franchise. Like, it took 20 years for us to get another movie. And it's interesting to me because, like, Alien 3 is not super great. Alien Resurrection's real bad. But, like, they just keep making Alien movies. And yet Predator went dormant for 20 years after one movie that wasn't great. Weird. I'm not sure why they felt like Alien was a safe bet and Predator wasn't. Although, I guess the answer to that question lies in, like, what do you do with the Predator?
Yeah, like what's his setting? And like honestly, anywhere other than a jungle setting is gonna drastically hinder how good of a character or the best spotlight to put on the predator. Like you need to have him to where it's an actual hunt. And in a city that's full of like densely populated, basically everybody in the city had guns. And like you think about it, it's like a predator can't really stalk, especially in like broad daylight, can't stalk his prey or choose his prey really well in such a densely populated area. But if you get like someone in a secluded area, that's why like I feel the Predator in its best way, shape, and form is
Right.
akin to a slasher film, like Michael Voorhees, or I mean Jason Voorhees or Michael, like that, or like Scream, to where the suspense makes that character more frightening. Because like at that point in time, when we were watching the first movie, we didn't even, without prior knowledge,
Sure.
we didn't know what the hell was killing. We didn't know what was going. And again, giving the slasher or the predator or whoever the least amount of screen time makes your mind wander and adds more fear and thrill to the actual experience. But this is just like the predator just like, oh, here I am. You want to fight, bitch? Like, you know, pumping his chest and trying to flex on everybody instead of being an actual like hunter. But again, that goes back to my first point of like, not all predators are the same. Not all hunters hunt the same. And I get that, but it drastically decreased the value and worth of this movie. That's
I mean,
why.
at the end of the day, this movie's just not very good.
Yeah.
John, what's your final rating for Predator 2?
My final rating is gonna be 6. Do you want some candy? Out of 10. I would like some candy, and by candy, I would mean a better setting for the predator and a better plot.
I have to agree, except I think that you grossly overrated this movie. I'm going to cut it back to 2 out of 5. Trophy skulls on the wall.
Jesus. All right. Trophy skulls.
And God help us. I hope that going back to the jungle in 2010's Predators next week is better than this. God knows we'll get more lore. If nothing else, we are going to get some more lore. And, well, Adrian Brody and Super Predators await. Until next time, and as always, don't watch Predator 2, guys.